I still remember my high school art teacher. One day we came in and she had just these big pieces of paper out with black and white paint, and she said, "You take yourself all too seriously, so you have to finger paint a self-portrait of yourself today." And they were like awful, but it was so playful, and just like there was no expectation for it to look good, right? And so I still think about that aspect of incorporating play and playfulness and exploration, and not holding ourselves to like this like perfect standard. Ceramics, I think what is really appealing to me about it, I primarily create functional works and then use decorative techniques and to design them. And so I love the calm, like repetitive aspect of creating the form. And it's always very familiar, so I can like sit down and it helps me just to like breathe, and I know I'm gonna measure out this much clay, I'm gonna throw, this particular shape, I'm gonna put it together. So there's like this known building portion of the process that is really like calming and soothing to me, and you can kind of just like zone out a little bit and just get into the process without making a lot of decisions. And then comes like the more playful part of designing something and kind of playing with different ideas and materials. I love that like double-sided aspect of like creating functional pieces that are also decorative, and it's almost like I make the canvas to paint on, and I get to have control over both aspects. I always encourage my art students that like they're always going to be an artist. It doesn't matter if you end up becoming an artist or an art teacher or working in design, or if you're like a dentist or a car mechanic, like you're a creative person. And I think that once you've experimented with clay or painting and like you realize you have that in you, or it's something that you like, I just always tell my students, remember that you're a creative person, and that might look like you giving yourself space and time during your life to create as like a hobby or just something that you like to do. But it also means like recognizing where creativity shows up in other ways that aren't just like art, right? When you're problem solving, or when you are, making something or building something or fixing something in your apartment, or anytime that you're using those skills of thinking about different options and trying things out. Those things are all part of our creative selves. And then as far as like, being an artist, let yourself be creative and play. Sometimes we take ourselves really seriously, and it can actually like really dampen our ability to create. You're like, yes, I'm an artist, and you're gonna continue on, creating work. Let yourself be playful and creative, and, not get caught up in is it right or is it perfect, and kind of see where the process and journey takes you. My favorite class to teach is definitely ceramics. I really love how the material, like clay material, it has something for everyone. People who come in and already feel creative, they usually tend to like get into all the nitty-gritty techniques and maybe a lot of decorative work. But even if someone feels particularly not creative, the like functional aspect and like building aspects of clay usually appeals to them, and they can find success in those aspects, and it starts to ignite this like understanding of their ability to create and be creative. And for me as an artist and an art educator, like that's what I'm here for, is to like help people recognize they might not want to be an artist when they grow up or whatever, but they have like a creative aspect of their self in them, and that they can explore that. So it's definitely one of the most like satisfying classes and materials to teach.